Good afternoon, Vonda LaFever. Welcome to our podcast.
Welcome, Lori Wilson.
Hey, you know what? We have two fabulous guests today. They both have been on multiple times, but we always love having them. They are two of our favorite people on the planet, and I would say two of our favorite coworkers.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we have a lot
We
of
have-
favorite coworkers, but
Yes,
these
yes,
are close.
yes.
They're your
I
favorites
would-
of the day.
Yes, they're our favorites of the moment of the hour. We have Ellie LaFever,
Hello.
and we have Miss Cammie Martin.
Hi.
Hi.
What's wrong?
How are you?
I'm good. I'm really goofy.
You are goofy. And you know what, Cammie? That's why we love you. Because here's the thing. We never know what we're going to get with you.
You really don't. Well, Lori,
No,
I never would know what I'm going to get with you either. So,
That's true.
It's all fair.
That's true.
You
That's
keep us
true.
on our toes.
You do.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes. I will say with Cammie and I, we like to change it up. We just like to change it up. There's not a lot of consistency.
Mhm.
And that's what makes part of Flower Clique so much fun.
It's true. And that's why this is called the business and pleasure
Pleasure
of flowers.
of flowers. So anyway, we have called the two of you here today for a meeting.
Yes, we did, because we're trying to
Are
figure
we in
something.
trouble?
Well, not trouble, but there is an issue among Flower Clique. There is a call for clarity, if you will.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Here's the thing. Every time we go to an event, a convention, a symposium, a show, anything, we get the question, what's Flower Clique? What's Flower Clique? Hey, what's Flower Clique? Right? We've all been there.
We do. But can I start before we jump into what's Flower Clique? What's Flower Clique?
Yes, I guess.
Just let me jump in, because
Okay.
the question is, why Flower Clique? Why did we even start Flower Clique?
True.
You know,
True.
because there is a
Yeah.
why, but
We need the backstory.
we need the backstory. People like a backstory. Like, why does it even exist? And truly, it was born out of a need in the industry, right? I saw a need in the industry. I grew up in the flower shop, washing buckets, processing flowers, learning to design, earning accreditation, managing, and eventually owning my own flower shop. Because of that journey, I know firsthand that it's hard. It's hard to run a shop, and I can relate to it. So it's not hard just to get everything done, but to give your best to every single area of the business, it's something hard to do. So over and over, I heard from shop owners about the same frustration. And really, it came down to profitability. I heard so many people weren't taking a check, and oh my gosh, when you're not making money, how can you continue to have fun? And when I dug deeper, I realized it often came back to one thing: using stock images on their website without adjusting the prices. The solution seemed to be pretty simple. Create the designs that are a little trendy, easy to reproduce, and priced with profit and perceived value in mind. But I couldn't stop there. I saw that shop owners simply didn't not only have the time, but they didn't have the technical know-how to keep the website updated. So really, that and educating the new people who are getting into the industry, those two things really made a big difference. And we're like, there's a need that we can fill here. Flower Clique exists to come alongside those shop owners, take some weight off the shoulders, and help them not just survive, but thrive in the business. So that's my why. So Lori, I'm going to say, now I walked into that convention and somebody says to you, what is Flower Clique anyway?
Well, I told you last weekend what I say when people ask me that, which is not a great answer, but it does make people laugh. Lately, when people say, what's Flower Clique? My immediate answer is, what do you want it to be? And I can make it so. And they kind of light up, and I'm like, no, seriously, what do you need? Because that's how I feel. Meaning, what are you struggling with as a flower shop owner? And that always starts our conversation, because I truly believe whatever your pain point is, there probably is something we do that can help. Not always,
Mhm.
because there are things I'm like, "Oh, wow, that's one I've never heard of," and then I'll pass them off to maybe a company that can. So, in a nutshell, when I have to describe Flower Clique, which, let's be honest, it's really hard
Mhm.
to describe, I like to say we're kinda like the behind the scenes employees that you hire. We not only put photos on your website. We merchandise your website seasonally. We don't host your website. We enhance your website. We also provide online customer service training for you and your staff that helps you sell with confidence. We have ready to go marketing, such as email marketing, social media marketing, so you don't have to start from scratch. We provide a great community of other flower shop owners and a safe space to vent and talk about this industry, and that's how I describe it.
Mhm.
And then hopefully something that I have shared sparks something that they're dealing with, and the conversation goes from there.
But one thing you do is first, before you go into any of that, is you listen to them. You listen to their story because then you know what to key in on because everyone has a story and a pain point, and that's what really makes a difference.
Right. Right. Exactly. So, Cami, you are the director of the One Click program. What exactly does it mean to manage a florist website?
Yeah. So I do hear that a lot. What does Flower Click do for my website, or what are you guys going to do? And basically, it is a complicated answer because we do a lot of things. If I had to sum it up quickly, I would say three things. The first one is we simplify the inventory. That's a pain point that the florists have. They have too much product on their website, and if anyone's listening right now and has a website not managed by us, they probably know that's an issue. Lots of different flowers, lots of containers. We try to simplify that and make there be crossover, make it be easier to manage and actually deliver same day delivery what someone just ordered, right? That's a big
Mhm.
point that we simplify the inventory. And by the way, just an extra that I keep hearing is a pain point from florists is that their customers are used to being able to click and buy and have it delivered to them in 2 hours, right? That exact product. And it's like, oh, we have fresh flowers. We can't necessarily do that. But we, as Flower Click, try to step in and make it manageable and easy to do that because what's in their cooler is what's on their website. And I think that is just the clearest way I can say we simplify inventory by having that crossover. So that's a big thing we do, simplify the inventory. Second, and I get passionate about this, and so does Vonda. She's made me passionate about this, is that we increase the average order value. The way we
Yeah.
merchandise the site, we increase the average order value instead of them just being busy and, the florist is busy and just making designs, the $39 designs, $49 designs. We're going to put some designs on the site that are profitable. So they're actually making money on those designs. It's very important. So we're going to increase the average order value. And then third is we, again, make sure those designs are profitable. And that's where Vonda comes in, is making sure that they're not selling something that's underpriced, undervalued.
I love that, and that's what they need, and they don't realize that. I think that's the problem. They have the endless scroll, right, is what we
Mhm.
we like to say, and there is not that crossover between what they have on the website because they can't have everything in their store that they have on the website. Cami, those are just great points. Yeah.
And with that, I would say to your point of 2-hour delivery, from Amazon or same day or next day, everybody is so used to that. But to your point, they are also used to getting exactly what they want. And so I think we really cut down on the amount of times or complaints that a customer says it doesn't look like the picture, right? We always want it to look like the picture and have that be a deliverable final product that our shops can execute on.
Lori mentioned how we're so many things because we've grown over the years, and we do fill several solutions that florists have pain points on. But if I go back to when we first started as a company, that was one of our core, values is we hear so often it didn't look like the picture or the customer wasn't happy with what they ordered. We want to fix that. I just remember that so clearly.
Yeah.
when we first started, that was our biggest goal. And I feel like we accomplished that.
No, I agree. And the other part of that is you're just saying that sometimes you might not have that exact thing in your store. Then we have the training to know what to say when you pick up the phone and go, hey, what can we do for a substitution? Because Lori is all over that. She has that training so that it's educating the staff so that they can educate the customer to make that right decision. So they're happy if it's not exactly like that picture.
And how to do it professionally, communicating professionally.
Yep.
Exactly.
So we'll switch gears to a few more detailed questions and kind of drill down. One question that I have for you, Ellie, and I hear this is, why is the product photography or the quality such a big deal for the website?
So the photos are the product online. I know that's such a simple answer, but that's what you're selling. That's your salesperson. And so if they're looking dark or dated or it's unclear what the customer is getting, customers assume that your designs are unclear, dark, dated, all of those things. So it's really important to us at Flower Clique, in part of our membership, is to provide those high quality, fresh, on trend, professional images for each season and holiday so that our members' websites look fresh and crisp and consistent and, most importantly, ready to convert.
Exactly. So another question I hear is, what does it mean to have an online presence in today's world, like we talked about already?
To me, it means that when someone searches flowers near me, you show up instantly with a website and with social platforms that look polished and trustworthy. And so that's where Flower Clique also comes in, always keeping your website fresh, set apart from your competitors, with those seasonal updates and a professional look that your customers can't ignore.
Very good. So, Ellie, what is one thing a florist can do to strengthen their brand?
One thing that you can do today, right now, and prioritize is to update your homepage. You only get seconds to make that first impression, right? We all have the attention of a goldfish. So the homepage is where your customers land first. We help with that by designing homepages that convert with professional banners for every sales holiday, every season, gorgeous seasonal designs, and product photography that shows that you're a real local florist with beautiful options at every price point, every color palette, every size, so that there's something for everyone.
I'm going to jump in here a minute, Ellie, and tell you that one thing Cammie always says, and she talks to our members about this, is the homepage is like a menu at the restaurant. And that's why you have to make sure you have a high-end product and a low-end product and something for everyone, and something that's like candy, right? It's like, oh, I want that. Oh, I want that. But everyone can relate to what's on that homepage. So I think that's the menu. And I love that, like you're saying, is that just the variety that's on that homepage.
Well, anymore too, they treat the website like a menu, like you're saying, even when they call the shop, so often they have the website pulled up and they order from that menu. They'll say, I really like postcard from Tuscany, something like that, but can you do that, but maybe more in the $79 price range? And I hear our florists say that often. In particular, too, with the website, not just the homepage, they'll talk about sympathy designs. This week, I heard multiple people say, I rarely have someone add a casket spray to the cart and have it, and check out, right? But
Right.
they do go out to my website and look at these designs like a menu to know, okay, these are the color schemes. These are some of the pretty designs that this florist can do. And they use that as a menu as well. So I hear that a lot.
Yeah.
And I think that's also why it's so important to have everything buttoned up, right? You have your website looking crisp with accurate products that you want to sell and design and that are a depiction of the work that you can do, but also that you have the staff or you and your team that know how to professionally sell, which is where things like sales prep school really buttons everybody up and keeps you professional. So you have to have both today because customers do expect that white glove service, calling and and wanting that extra level of care on the phone. But like you said, using the website as that menu or that portfolio. So
And
you got to have it all.
We talked a little bit about what we do with the website. I mostly was talking about everyday designs, but man, we really feel a need when it comes to the sympathy designs. I can say this because I had nothing to do with the actual photography or designs, but our sympathy designs are second to none. We have beautiful sympathy designs that fill a need, and we can put those on the website so a family can see and can call and know what the florist is capable of. And then the wedding gallery is another area that I didn't mention earlier, but just for a bride to be able to even find a shop and know they do weddings and have that lookbook, that online presence showing that they'll do a wedding, that they can fill out the consultation. And I'll often hear a florist, especially one that's just starting with us, they might say, but that's not my work, and I need to show my work. And I just want to add that number one, we can insert, some of your professional photography into our wedding gallery, but also the bride is just looking to see that you do weddings, and it's a marketing tool is what I usually say. It's a marketing tool so that then they'll fill out the consultation. You can meet with them. You can have that interaction and give them their dream wedding.
So, Ellie, what's one mistake florists make with their digital footprint?
Being invisible. If your Google map shows that you're closed when you're not, or that your hours are off, or if your last Facebook post was from Valentine's Day and it's now September, customers move on instantly with the snap of a finger. So that's why Flower Clique helps florists keep your content relevant and fresh, and so that your digital footprint's always reflecting an active, thriving business.
Can I say something about that, Ellie?
Yes, please.
That because you guys know I love to buy flowers, and I go to social media before I look on the website. I'll Google a shop or flower shops in Fort Collins, Colorado, and I'll go to their social media first. If I go to their Facebook page and they have not posted since Valentine's Day, and it is October, I'm going to make up so many stories in my head as to the dysfunction of that shop that are probably not true, but I go through all of these scenarios, and I can't be the only customer that does that because we live in the age of social media, unfortunately. And my thought is, if you can't post what's going on at least once a week, you are a dysfunctional store and you're not doing so hot. You're not doing well. But this is just perception of a customer and short-term attention span of a customer.
Okay, well, I get that, Lori, but I will have to say, being on the other side, a shop owner, and maybe there's only a couple employees, it's hard. Yeah. It's hard to even
I have no doubt it is.
Well, and that's where we come in, though. That's where we come in and provide a solution. Yes, do they still need to be posting their own content? 100% yes. But again, going back to what we do, again, why it's so hard to sum it up in just a quick, simple one-sentence answer is we also post twice a week to the Facebook account, right? For those that do lose track of time and did have a couple months of dysfunction.
Right. Well, that's my point.
Right.
That is my point. Yeah. Because we'll talk to shops and, say, hey, this isn't the best case scenario, but this does give you a reprieve.
Yes.
Because you are so busy, because maybe it is only you and a delivery driver and you can't get to it.
Right.
And so those little things are incredibly helpful because customers do look at that, and you just tend to go, oh, wow, maybe they're about to close. Maybe they took 6 months off. I'll just try something else. It's the made up stories we create and we move on, and you lose a sale, and you're a great designer.
And even to go back to Ellie with the digital footprint and the presence, we also help them with their Google business profile.
I was going to come in as well and say that.
I mean,
because that's one of my biggest pet peeves. I'm always looking on Google. I feel like I could start an entire separate business for every business that doesn't manage their hours and their website link on Google. It's crazy. And so for us, Cammie, you're emailing them and being like, hey, what's your hours for this holiday or season?
Right.
We're being proactive, and those little things add up. That's again why it's so hard to sum us up, because we do so many little things.
Not only do we ask them about the hours, like you said, Ellie, that's one of the initial setup. Like when someone joins Flower Clique, is I will ask them what their hours are, ask them what their service areas are. I cannot tell you how many times florists don't have the service areas. We're talking about customer being able to find them online. Having all of the service areas or the areas they deliver to on their Google listing it's so important. The hours, and then we also will post. It's almost like a social post once a week to their Google listing, because that activity is good for SEO. That goes back to another question florists will ask, are we SEO? Are we SEO company? And that's a very difficult question to answer, because so many things we do help with SEO, like that Google post or the two social posts or the
product descriptions,
or just keeping the website fresh and updating, consistently. Like those all help with SEO and are a huge part of SEO. So, so the answer is yes. And
yes, and
so Ellie, how does brand awareness help your flower shop?
I would say the more familiar your brand feels, the more likely customers are to think of you first when flowers are needed. We are in a very emotional business with products that are sent for happy holidays, sad ones. And so it's really important that you're positioning yourself so that your customers are thinking of you first for all of these moments in life. And that's one thing that we're passionate about at Flower Clique, is helping the florist stay consistent with marketing, from email marketing, from your web banners to social to Google, so that your brand stays top of mind year round.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. One more thing I just want to touch on our online courses. We are all huge believers in education. It's one of the reasons Vonda created Flower Clique, Vonda and Ellie. Our sales prep school and our flower prep school they've been pivotal in so many florists' onboarding systems when it comes to educating their staff. We design them specifically for retail florists and their entire team. It helps with the flow of the shop, whether it is with owners, managers, the whole staff, delivery drivers, anyone that wants to improve their customer service, the day-to-day operations, design skills, their phone skills, their walk-in skills, all the skills, right?
Right.
The other course that we have that's been a huge hit is Sympathy. I've heard nothing but positive feedback from that. And there's two things that I hear repeatedly. Number one, it is the perfect course for those designers that are just starting to dip their toe into casket sprays or standing sprays. Like they're in awe of the funeral work, but they're kind of scared because it's scary, right?
Sure.
When you first do it. But you and Julie and Abby Chick, you guys make it look not so scary. The other thing I've heard about it from some more seasoned designers, some of our members, the ones that every time we create a new course, they're like, I'm buying it. They watch it and they're like, oh my gosh, Vonda, I learned something new. I've never done it this way before. I didn't know you about this. And so it's a win-win. And the cool thing about it is Flower Clique members purchase these courses, and what is it, Ellie? They get like 33% off the cost of a non-member. But non-members can purchase it too, but it's a lot less expensive when you are a member. And once you purchase these courses, they're yours forever.
Evergreen.
Evergreen. So I just wanted to put that out there because we're always getting questions about our courses, and they're a wonderful tool to have for your entire team.
Well, it's funny because we designed Flower Prep School to take a delivery driver to a basic designer. And we were telling somebody that just the other day, and they were laughing, and they're like, seriously? And we're like, yeah, really, you could.
Yeah.
And I think many shops who are listening to this have done that over the years. It's like
They have.
somebody starts as a driver and then they end up being a designer. It's
Yep.
hard to have the time to do that anymore, to concentrate on all those little details. So that's why we
Right.
found such great success in that one as well. So
Yeah.
that one was fun.
Mhm.
So you can see why it's hard when somebody comes up to Lori and says, "What is Flower Clique?" And
Yes, and why I say, "What do you want it to be?"
I've used Lori's catchphrase now, which I think is perfect. I think if I had a dime for every time I said it at AIFD, I'd be rich, but we remove the overwhelm for retail
Yeah.
florists.
Yep.
love
That's
Simple
what
as
we
that.
do. Yep. That's exactly what we do.
So you're listening and you might be curious or intrigued. And so we want to give you a place to go. We have a link in the show notes that takes you to a calendar where you can make a quick little meeting time that works best for you. And you will get to know more about us or ask questions or find out if it's a fit. So definitely go there, click the link in the show notes, and don't be shy. We are here to help.
yeah, and the key is on that call, it's no obligation. It's just to discover a little bit more about Flower Clique.